Hey guys, this is Tom from Numbers Game Lifestyle, and today we're going to talk about why players should keep their mouth shut around their social circle, especially around who they hook up with and who they date. Okay, so whenever you're with a social circle, whether that be people from school, people from work, these people aren't your best friends, right? So you have to be very careful about what you say around them. Around your best friends, it really doesn't matter what you say. You can talk about all the, girls you slept with and all the girls you dated. It really doesn't affect you very much. But if you talk about, girls in the workplace, girls at school, girls at the gym that you've hooked up with around other guys, bad things are going to happen, right? You are better off keeping your mouth shut. And I know it's super tempting to want to talk about this kind of stuff, right? Because it helps you boost your status among other men. A bunch of other guys are gawking at a girl, being like, "Oh man, that girl is so hot. What I would do to her." And you're like, "Yeah, I hooked up with her about a month ago." Or you say "Yeah, I tried dating that girl and this happened." Whenever you do that, you may think that "Oh man, it's gonna go over great." These chumps are sitting there pining over this girl that you've already had sex with, or you've already slept with, or you've dated her. But bad things happen when you open your mouth about who you've slept with, who you've dated, any kind of thing with social circle, especially around other men. Okay, so what happens as soon as you tell them, let's go through some examples. I know when you're first new to this, you're getting laid all the time. You're really good at cold approach, and you're getting tons of lays, tons of dates all the time. It can be very tempting to want to talk about stuff like that with normies, and it doesn't go over well. Trust me, because the majority of men out there are desperately in need of female attention, female validation, female anything. They're just so thirsty for it. So when you say, "Oh yeah, I've hooked up with that chick before," right away it's going to put them on the defensive. Oh really? They're not going to like you because you basically hooked up with the girl of their dreams. Second of all, they're going to want to take that opportunity to confirm your story, right? They're going to be like, "Oh, now this gives me an opportunity to talk to this girl," right? This guy says he hooked up with her. Now's my opportunity to finally tell her and talk to her. Yeah, finally get some validation. Finally be able to talk to her without any pressure. And that's what you did. As soon as you opened your mouth, you gave him a free pass to be "Oh yeah, now you can go approach that girl without it being awkward, without you risking rejection," right? Because he's not risking rejection. He's just asking about you, right? That's exactly what you're doing. And they will take it up because guys are so desperate for female attention that they will do that. They will want to confirm your story. So keep your mouth shut around normies about your exploits, about who you date, who you sleep with, because it's going to cause problems. Because girls don't want a guy that they don't want to be sleeping with guys that runs their mouth, because word gets around that way. This guy tells this guy, and word spreads like wildfire. And suddenly you're the guy that can't hook up with girls because he can't keep his mouth shut. And that's what they want. A guy that can, hook up with girls and not want to brag about it. So shut your mouth, especially around normies that are going to blab it to everybody else. They get jealous and they want to blab and get into other people's business. So just shut your mouth. As tempting as it is to be "Yeah, I've hooked up with that chick. Yeah, I dated that chick." While they're all pining from the sidelines. "Oh, I wish I could. I wish I could get a date with her." So just keep your mouth shut. So they're looking at a girl that you've slept with and be man, that girl is so hot. Just be like, yeah, she sure is. Anyways, because it'll come back. They will take that opportunity to go talk to her, and mess things up for you 100% of the time. So just keep your mouth shut. Put the zipper on the mouth. Every time I've done this, every time when I was new, and I would like hook up with a girl from work or hook up from a girl at gym, and like other guys were like pining for these girls, and I told them like, yeah, like I dated that chick, this is what happened, blah blah blah. They always tell, without a doubt, they always go up and take that opportunity to confirm your story, and take that opportunity to have a conversation with the girl, because now they don't have to risk rejection talking to her. They've got a perfect opportunity to talk to them now. So yes, just keep your mouth shut. I'll give you a couple examples to like bring this home. One time I was at the gym, and a buddy of mine, a gym acquaintance, gym bro, was talking about this like hot Latina chick. He was Latino too. And so like he's like, man, like look at that girl, and pointing to her. It's like, yeah, like I went on a date with that girl, and I tried to invite her back to my place, but she wasn't having it. So like I just kind of let it be. And he's like, oh really? He got really serious, right? Like he was like, oh really? Like really serious. And sure enough, I knew he went and talked to her like at some point, because at some point he came back. Like I told the truth, and I didn't sleep with her. Like we just went on a date, and she wasn't having my idea of coming back to my place. But I guess she must have said something pretty like fairly positive about me, because he came back, and as soon as I like walked into the gym, he's like, you're a player. I know you. You're a dog. And it's like, yeah, kind of true. Like, because he talked to her, and I guess she must have said like, yeah, he tried to invite me back to his place, and it didn't go well. He never called me again. But yeah, it worked out in my favor, luckily, because the girl, like, I guess, confirmed my story. And I didn't tell her, like, didn't like lie and say like, yeah, I slept with her or anything like that. But sure enough, he did go and ask her. He did go up and ask her like, oh, this guy, like, what happened between you and him? And it ended up working in my favor. Like the guy like had more respect for me now, even though I don't care. But yeah, now I had the reputation of being the gym player. But so dumb. I just should have kept my mouth shut, because I know like normies, whenever you talk about the women that you sleep with, whenever you talk about the women that you date, they get very upset. They get very like uptight about it. And they're going to take that opportunity to talk to the women that you slept with or hooked up with, because it's their opportunity to finally get some attention and validation from the girl of their dreams. Anyways, so players out there, I know it's super tempting to want to talk about this stuff with normies about like, all the like crazy success you've had, but normies aren't like us, right? Normies are very desperate for pussy, and they live in scarcity. So keep your mouth shut about this. Only talk about this stuff with your like very best friends, or guys that are, in the same boat as you, that do not live in scarcity. All right, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching.